Hello, another great week at Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network with co-hosts Brittany Wise and Carol Harper Powe.
In the house.
How y'all doing today?
I'm tired.
You tired?
Yeah.
Man, tired, you gotta get some rest.
Yeah, you're trying to balance being an entrepreneur and
That's right.
taking care of families.
That's
Absolutely.
it.
Harper Powe.
I'm great. I'm
You
ready
Did you
for
call her
this.
Harper
feeling great?
Powe like
I
she
had
a
to say
football
Harper
player?
Powe. I
I'm
like
gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
Powe.
After we get off the show, I'm gonna get him.
She play football. That's what they call each other, football teams.
I know Harper Powe, right?
Well, actually, I want to change things up slightly.
Okay.
Just slightly. What I'd like for you to do right now, Miss
Mm-hmm.
Carol, is to tell the viewers about your podcast. You said that you combined them.
Yes.
And whatever else you have a ministry thing too.
Yes.
Tell the viewers exactly what you got going on,
Oh, okay.
and then we'll move on.
The beginning podcast is CDH Podcast, Tell It Like It Is, Be Real. That's on Anchor.com, Spotify, and all the other things. And then last month I launched CDH Predestined Podcast. So somehow I was working it together and it all merged together. I said, okay, let me merge these two podcasts together. So CDH Podcast and CDH Predestined Podcast, they're all merged together. And also I birthed, by God's grace, CDH Ministries. I think it was this month I birthed that. All of these are on YouTube, Carol's Publishing Company. They're on Facebook, Carol Harper Powe, Books for Life, and Carol's Publishing Company. So these are all podcasts and ministries and CDs and all these things are going to be going on.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Wow.
And Ms. Brittany, Legacy Services has an ad out right now. Tell the viewers about that ad.
Absolutely. So Legacy Services, as you know, we're a startup consulting company. We help you with your startup business information. So anything that you need, from branding to marketing to just getting your foundation set, getting your minority-owned business certifications, all of that. We help with all of that. But right now we have a special where we give you a $200 gift card if you pay for the consultation. So 1 hour consultation is $150. And you get the $200 gift card. So in essence, it'll be free. So reach out to me, 214-774-7503, or you can reach me at legacyservices.com.
I love it. I love it. Well, moving on to our show topics. This is Astronomy Talk.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So, you know, Dr. James, oftentimes you mention words like light year
Right.
and galaxy.
Right.
And some of us, we're tardy to the party. We don't know what that means.
Tardy to the party. I like that. I love it.
That's our new
We're
word.
a little late. Look, that's a nice way of saying we late. Look,
Okay.
tardy to the party.
Tardy to the party.
I want to know, what is 1 light year in astronomical terms?
Okay. 1 light year means 1 trillion miles away. That's what it means. So when you hear something is 1 light year away, it's 1 trillion miles away. Obviously, if it's 2 light years away, it's 2 trillion miles away.
Exactly.
Isn't that awesome?
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's still like way,
That's
way
a long
over
way
there.
away.
That's a long.
And to be able to see something that far away lets you know how massive it is.
Some people can't calculate 1 mile.
That's right.
Let alone
Let alone
a trillion
like,
miles.
man.
Okay.
We didn't say a million or a billion, we said a trillion.
A trillion. So, Dr. James, what is the difference between an asteroid and a comet?
All right. An asteroid is made up of rock. An asteroid is one of the things that the contents of it can be nickel, it can be a different type of minerals. The sizes of it range from as small as your thumb to, I think the biggest is 580 miles across.
Okay.
So obviously something that's small like that, let me be clear, is a meteor, right?
Okay.
Something like a house size and smaller,
Okay.
those are meteors,
Okay.
right? Anything pretty much bigger than that can be considered an asteroid. So an asteroid is made of rock. A comet, on the other hand, is made of more ice and gases.
Okay.
So that's why when you see it streaking across the sky, you'll see the tail it leaves behind, which is the vapors of the ice that is evaporating.
Okay.
And so the difference as far as being able to see it coming here would be asteroids. You can see it because there are a lot of them are in the asteroid belt.
Okay.
And we can monitor them and tell the trajectory to know, is it gonna interact kind of with our planet, so we can tell what's coming for the most part.
Okay.
A comet, on the other hand, even though the asteroids does circle around the sun, so you're able to see it, comets circle around the sun also, but they do it in a very wide range circle, so it's hard to monitor them.
Okay.
So sometimes they can come and sneak up on you sometimes. So that's one of the main differences.
You said sneak up on you. Who was you? Like,
Sneak up on us.
On us, yeah.
they sneak up on the planet?
As human beings
Exactly.
on the planet.
Exactly.
That sounds pretty great. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
One of the words that we share a love for is the word greatness.
Greatness, our next topic.
So
Okay.
I personally, my purpose is to empower greatness.
Okay.
How does the word greatness mean to you in business?
Okay, so the word greatness is most of the time a mindset. Okay, so you want to have a mindset of greatness, because if you have that mindset of greatness, then you perform at a great level.
Okay.
You'll put out great level work.
Absolutely.
And so greatness to me is trying to reach the highest things that you can reach in whatever field or thing that you're trying to reach.
Exactly.
And having a great attitude toward it.
Amen.
That's what I feel in it. What do you think about that word, Miss Karen?
Well, greatness, and I guess we're talking about business, greatness in business. It could be a lot of things, but the meaning of greatness is like being an expert and a genius, and like skills and experience, like you
Okay.
talked about. So Bob Marley said, the greatness of a man or a woman is not in how much wealth he or she acquires, but it's in his integrity and his ability to affect those around him or them positively.
I
That's
love
what
it.
Bob Marley
Nice.
said.
I love it.
Integrity, that's an awesome word.
Right.
That's doing the right thing even when nobody's watching.
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love
And
it.
that's pretty much what greatness is. If you walk in greatness, then you'll just be great.
I love it.
Absolutely.
So how do you become great?
Well, how do you become great is you have to have great habits, positive habits. Positive habits is hard to form. Negative habits is easy to form because you know, think about all the bad habits. I don't go work out. I don't go do this. I don't get a chance to do this. I didn't do that. But bad habits are very easy. But positive habits, habit forming is very hard. You have to go through 5, 6, 8, 21 days of doing something a certain way to make that habit good. So if you want to make it great, spend a month doing it and doing it as much as possible, maybe even daily, to turn it into great.
Well, for me, it's a twofold. I was thinking of a twofold, the natural and spiritual.
Okay.
Okay. So naturally, you have to practice forgiveness, and you have to be helpful, and you have to be honest and direct, and don't make excuses. And let go of anger and master your weakness. Okay, you have to master. Everyone got some kind of weakness in them, and you got to work on you. And sometimes we see others and we don't see ourselves. Now in business, how do you become great? I follow that cow with everything that Dr. James said. I follow everything that he says. So in business, how do you become great? I mean, you got to work it. You got to work it to work it.
That's right.
Because if you don't never work it to work it, it'll never come to pass. And it's your business. And like I said in previous shows, if you don't work it, it's not going to come to pass.
Right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So you mentioned something about habits. And I like to get my clients to think of an oak tree.
Okay.
And when you plant the seed, it's just a seed. You wait about 5 years and it kind of sprouts, it grows a little bit.
Right.
Another 10 years, it's starting to form into a tree.
Right.
It's a little easier to uproot at that 10-year phase or so.
Right.
When you start getting to 50 years, it's a whole oak tree.
That's right.
You just got to cut it down. And even once you cut it down, it's still a stump there.
Absolutely.
So the residue is still there.
Absolutely.
That's your habits.
Okay.
Got you.
When you start small, those habits are easier to uproot. But the older the habit is, the more residue it leaves behind.
Absolutely.
Got you.
So, big picture versus small picture. What's an example of a small picture?
Okay, big picture versus small picture. Okay, example of a small picture is when you're thinking about what you have to do that day. That day, the next day maybe. Those are small pictures. I got to get these tasks done today. I got to get this done by tomorrow. Maybe even by the end of the week. I got to get all this done by next Friday.
Okay.
Right.
That's small picture thinking.
Okay. Me, a big picture.
A small picture.
Oh, small. We on a small picture. Small picture is looking at something and trying to get to the big picture that we hadn't. It's not discussed yet. So absolutely, I follow that Cal with Dr. James. So the small picture that I would come up with is just looking at it. Come up with something. I mean, you got to have a thought. You got to have something in mind. If you don't have the picture, just like if we take photos and we're looking at something like a box or something, you're looking at something. So we have to have something in mind to make that small picture.
Got you.
So a small picture, I'm kind of going to just jump into both the small picture and the big picture, if you will. So small picture, I think of a puzzle piece. You have, if you have this, 20, 30, 50 piece puzzle, you have 50 different pieces, but you have the big picture to look at. Each individual puzzle piece is the small picture.
That's right.
So we have to in turn look at the big picture and say, okay, what do I need to do to get to there?
Absolutely.
And then bring it back and cut it up into smaller sizes.
Absolutely.
It's like, how does an ant eat an elephant?
Right.
One bite at a time, right?
Absolutely.
You're not go, we learned, it took you 18 months to learn how to walk.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that's the difference between a big picture and a small picture to me. What do you think?
Well, I'd like to see an ant eat an elephant. Brittany, I mean,
one bite at a time is gonna take you. It's gonna take a
eat
while.
an elephant. I mean, how many ants? I wonder how long one ant can eat an elephant. I'm just trying to deal with it. Production come, anybody here can tell me how long. I'm just saying.
Look, I'm sure it's a scientist somewhere.
I can't even
who done broke down and studied. They done studied the ant long enough to break.
Well, actually, no. I like that analogy really because it's kind of like a snail, right? Like a snail. Small picture wise, you can go out there in a day it doesn't look like the snail has made any movement. A year later, they can make it to the other side of the house, but it's going to take a couple of years for them to come back around.
Right.
So, big picture though, in business, the bottom line is to be able to see down the road, and that's what a lot of people struggle with. Small pictures, everyone can really see.
Absolutely.
So today, tomorrow, you can see it. What makes you a good business, a good entrepreneur, is to be able to see what's going to happen a month, a year, 5 years from now.
Right.
If you can see it clearly, then you can be able to make all the moves like an ant, all the small moves to reach that. So I love that topic actually.
Nice.
So our next topic here is dream killers. Ooh. Ms. Carol,
Yes,
what
sir.
are dream killers?
All right.
In business, obviously.
Yes, absolutely. It could go both ways. So a dream killer is just like it is. It's killing your dream, whatever is in your heart, whatever you desire to do in your business. Like Dr. James, he got so many, and Miss Brittany, we have so many things on our umbrella. So what is basically our dream? It could be jealousy, dream killers. It could be jealousy, it could be laziness, it could be fear, it could be failure, and a failure of success. Because most people have a fear of being successful.
Right.
Because sometimes we live in our society, we live in a different culture, different people that we're around, and our mindset begin to think like them. But then they begin to wonder, when they start elevating, they begin to be fearful because they done lived in this society and in this bubble for a long time. So dream killers is it's a big picture.
Okay.
Well, like Ms. Carol said, dream killers come in all shapes, sizes, and forms. They might come in the form of somebody else's dream for you.
Right.
And it might even come in the form of love. Like, I don't want to see you get hurt, baby. Don't do that.
Right.
And it's like, nah, grandma, I'm good. Grandma got good intentions for you, but that's still a dream killer.
Yes.
Like, don't dim my light out of your fear.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's really what a dream killer is. They come, like you said, it's a natural, laying around being lazy, procrastination, those are dream killers. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Ain't that what the song say?
Absolutely.
Tomorrow will never come.
Absolutely.
Spiritual dream killers, that's the enemy telling you, well, you got this background, and you was in foster care, and you did this. And it's like you talk yourself out of your own dreams and your own success, which is, what they call it, self-sabotage. It's detrimental to everybody, because God put something in you that we all need.
Right.
Absolutely.
And if you keep suppressing what was planted, you never grow and you never flourish, and we never get to see that oak tree.
Right.
We never get to see what it is that God put in you that somebody needs to hear.
Right.
Yes.
So they can move forward for the kingdom. So.
Right. Well, as far as dream killers, I touche what both of you guys say. It could come in the form of, like you say, jealousy. It could come in the form of just not working hard enough. It could come in the form of negative vibes, words, things that pop in your head into your subconscious.
Absolutely.
In the spiritual dream killers, obviously, it could be someone that's trying to get closer to God, and someone trying to pull them away.
All right.
That could be a dream killer. Right?
Absolutely.
So that's, I think this, that was a good topic to actually reach. So, all right, our next topic, Ms. Carol, is ways to enhance your business.
Well, ways to enhance your business is sell what the consumers want.
All right.
You research. I mean,
Look,
you
end
go,
the show. That's it.
That's right. So that's like what, products, marketing?
You sell whatever. You can reach out to your friends and see what they like, and not only friends. I mean, you can do research. You could Google everything. You could Google this and see what the consumers like, or if it's not there, if you don't like it like that, you can go multiple ways when enhancing your business. You can set goals. You can use your social media. You can increase your traffic in your business by website and blogging.
Okay. Okay, I love it. So ways to enhance your business, products, marketing, absolutely. Have the right product for the right type of customer, be able to market, promote it, advertise it, obviously. Those things can be kind of different, but location is always something that's really important for your business, as far as putting it on social media, your website, maybe in an ad, so on and so forth. So yeah, I believe those are great ways to enhance the business.
Yeah, so even branding, I second everything you guys are saying, but I just thought about branding and brand recognition. So you always want to be thinking about building a brand. When you say Walmart, instantly a picture comes in your head, right? AT&T, a picture pops in your head.
That's right.
You don't have to think about it. McDonald's, boom, you got a mental image automatically. So that's the same thing with any business. You want to brand your business. You want people to know when they see that, Dr. James' photo or one of his logos, oh, that's Dr. James.
Right.
Like, it ain't even nothing to second guess
Right.
at that point. That's brand recognition. And that's important. I tell my clients, determine what type of brand you want to build.
Exactly.
Because if you think of a Toyota, they have a different brand than the Lexus.
Gotcha.
Even though it's made by the same manufacturer,
Right.
Exactly.
but they sell you something different.
Exactly.
Or a Bentley don't even advertise, but when you think Bentley, you think what? Luxury,
Right.
Absolutely.
royal, that type of thing. So they're building that brand.
Gotcha.
So you want to make sure that you're branding, and that's the main way to enhance your business. Is once you have a brand in the community, that leads me to my next one, the community. Going out in the community, doing community outreach,
Absolutely.
Feeding the homeless, anywhere where there's a need. Before COVID, there was always a back to school drive, or I do feed the homeless. I go do health fairs.
Right.
That was me building my brand.
Absolutely.
That was me in the community building the recognition of me being a health and wellness expert.
I love it.
And it worked.
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, our next topic is business relationships.
All
Ms. Carol,
right.
come on. This is about employees, employers,
Okay.
building business relationships. I want to hear it all.
Oh, he said, oh, he
yeah.
over here. Oh,
Oh,
okay. Of course, we already know employee is a person that you hire them and they work and you pay them wages, and employee is an organization that hires a person. Okay, business relationships. You have to build a relationship with your employee and employers, but it has to be a compromise. But you can't compromise. If you was an employer, you can't compromise things, like if it's your friend, they get more favoritism than the other employee. You can't do that.
right.
It has to be a balance across there. And as an employee, you have to do your job. You are getting paid. I don't get your paycheck and you don't get my paycheck, but you come to work to do the work,
Right.
to work it. How about that?
Right.
I love it.
Yeah, so it's funny you said that. The company that I worked for, it's a $1 billion company now. But the woman started her company here in Texas, and she was the only one doing everything in the office. Everything that she could do, she did it. But her team, she had clinicians that worked out in the community.
Absolutely.
She built her whole organization around the employees.
Okay.
So she was like, well, if I can keep a happy employee, they'll in turn be happy workers.
Absolutely.
Right.
And in turn provide good service.
Absolutely.
And it was logical, but so many companies, they don't work like that.
They don't.
Right.
And then as an employee, I personally like my employees to know what it means to own a business.
Right.
Because sometimes employees will go, well, we making you rich. No, sweetheart, I had to make the money to be able to pay you.
There you go.
Right.
So
There you go.
that's,
Right.
no, you're
There
not
you
making
go.
me rich. You're giving me
you
the
go.
time to go out and make more money. But in essence, if more employees knew what it meant to be an entrepreneur,
Right.
they would work better for their companies that they work for, their employers.
How sweet it is.
Yes.
How sweet it is. Building relationships, I love it. Employee, you have to do it. Employers, you have to do it. Building business relationships, that's one of my favorites because as you meet other businesses, sometimes that blossom into other things. So I love that 100%.
Okay.
We'll move on to our next topic, which is fear versus faith.
All right, Miss Brittany. What's the difference between fear versus faith? I'm ready to hear this.
Oh, Jesus.
Come
Okay.
on with it. You
All
said the
right,
right
so-
word, Jesus.
So, well, first of all, fear and faith look the same. You can't see neither one of them, but you got to
Right.
depend. You got to have an unseen something, right? You got to
Right.
have an unseen belief, right?
Absolutely.
So, fear is saying, okay, you have that anxiety with it. You don't know if you're going to do it. You talk yourself out of it. That's fear.
Okay.
Now
Right.
we have a healthy level of fear. You know, don't cross the street when there's cars coming. As a child, you know, stranger danger. There's a certain level of healthy fear, the,
Right.
the flight or fight.
Okay.
You know,
That's
mechanism.
It. That's it.
Then there's faith.
Okay. Come
Faith
on with
is
it.
a whole nother animal, is a whole nother beast.
Come on with it.
It looks a lot like fear, but it feels different. When
Right.
you have faith, it's like, yeah, I still don't know,
You can jump over a wall.
but
You can jump over a wall. with
look,
faith.
I don't know how this is gonna work out, but I'm
Right.
gonna go for it anyway.
Absolutely.
So that's the difference between fear and faith. What you got?
Well, I like to feel like they're both needed. Fear, I like to add another word to it. It's called appropriate fear.
Okay.
Okay.
There's appropriate fear that you need to have to keep it going. Like in the morning, I always start with a fear that I'm going to lose my business. I'm not going to work hard enough. So I wake up with a nervousness in my stomach,
Right.
nervousness in what I'm trying to do. So it makes me go work hard because I'm worried about going broke. I'm worried about losing my business. I'm worried about
Right.
not doing things for my family.
Absolutely.
Faith is more that I have faith in myself or whoever I'm dealing with.
Absolutely.
Faith that this is going to be done. Faith that I'm going to get it done.
Absolutely.
So, you know, as far as both of those are concerned, they're both needed.
Well, faith to me, fear and faith, fear, like everybody said around the board, fear is like, I'm afraid. I'm afraid to walk through this. I'm
Right.
afraid to talk this. What if I say this? Or what if I say that? Nah, what about my face expression? But faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. You could see it before it happened.
Right.
And that is called blind faith. Seeing it, it's absolutely exactly what everybody
yes,
said.
Yes, ma'am. Come on.
So basically, which one is more important, Miss Brittany?
Oh boy, I think Dr. James pretty much touched on it. They're both. There's a healthy level of importance with both of them.
Okay.
Right.
But in business, faith should definitely outweigh fear.
Absolutely.
Because I know when you wake up in the morning, you have this healthy level of fear where you don't want
Right.
to lose your business.
Right.
But from my experience, what I've learned is if you move forward, willing to take the risk, regardless of if you're going to lose or not,
Right.
that's putting your faith over your fear.
Absolutely.
And
Right.
that, to me, there's no mistakes. So even if I hit rock bottom, every lesson is a blessing. If I
Absolutely.
learn something from it, then you can get there just as fast. That's the powerful thing about becoming a millionaire versus winning the lottery. You don't have to go through the process when you get your lottery ticket. But when you go through the process, now you know what it takes to get there.
Absolutely.
And even if you lose it all, it don't take you long to get right back where you were.
Absolutely.
Because you know the process.
So every lesson is a blessing.
Yep.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is.
Which one is more important? I like to say they're equal. I can't put one ahead of the other because, yes, faith would drive you. Fear would drive you just as much. It's just like in business, pain of losing money makes people jump just as much as thinking about gaining money. Fear of losing money will make you jump. So I'm gonna call them equal.
Okay.
Well, to me, which one is important? I think faith is important. Basically, I think faith is important.
Okay, I love it. Our next topic is taking risks in life and business.
Taking life and risk in business. Okay. What's the difference from risk and chance, Miss Brittany?
What's the difference from risk and chance?
Yes.
Like, I wasn't listening. I
know,
got this
right?
little fly.
That's right.
I know.
You know,
This
bug is doing its job. It's
have to
bugging. Like, what's the difference between taking risk and chance? So, like you said, a risk is like a healthy level of, I'm gonna go for it.
Yes.
And regardless of what happens around me, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try it.
Exactly.
A chance is buying a lottery ticket. Like, you taking a chance that you're gonna get that 2 million, billion,
Right.
whatever it is, win the
Okay.
Powerball. You just spent your $20 on. You could have bought some gas with the $20. That's a chance.
Right. I love it. So what we want to do is we have something for the viewers for watching this show. Obviously, if you do any business with us, Legacy Services, MBC Global Enterprises,
Carol's Publishing Company.
Carol's Publishing Company, you use our services in any manner, we have something for you. Keep in mind, when you use our services, you're using it because you need it, right? You need something from what we have.
Right.
So the bottom line is just for doing it. We have so many gifts. We have a $200 gift card to give away for anybody that does services with us. We have an Amazon iPad to give away. Just because you use services with us. We have a Amazon Fire Stick to give away. Again, to give away just because you did services with us. So we're excited. Anything that you'd like to add right quick, Miss Brittany?
Don't forget, just reach out to me. LegacyServices.com, 214-774-7503.
Miss Brittany? Miss Carol, sorry.
Carol's Publishing Company on YouTube, Facebook, and all the social media. Carol's Publishing Company.
That'll work. And I am Dr. James McConnell, founder, CEO of MBC Global Enterprises. Phone number 469-765-5327. Text the word I want it to 469-765-5327. Text the word I want it to 469-765-5327. And we'll get you that iPad, that Fire Stick, that $200 gift card just for using our services. Oh my goodness, this was a great week.
Have faith.
We're so happy you guys came to see our show, and we want to see you next week on Dr. James McConnell's The Small Business Network. You guys have a great day.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is.
Definitely sweet.